Here's part 3 of the interview I did with Donal, the Irish guy you know. Link is in the description.
So let's talk about YouTube a little bit. What was kind of the things that inspired you to get on YouTube? Were they commentators? Were they what were the kind of things that kind of got you to start making videos?
Well, for me, I started watching the videos nearly 3 years ago, kind of back when Mob2 started. And watching the commentators grow, and you kind of get the kind of weird connection, like it's a one-sided connection. You feel like you know that person.
Yeah.
And I kind of always wanted to make one just so I could kind of meet some of the people and kind of get to know some of the personalities. Also, just because entertaining people is kind of really fun thing. And like kind of that, like informing people and making people laugh and knowing that people get enjoyment from just watching something you do. It's always something I was interested in. Like even as a little kid, I wanted to be a comedian or some sort of like TV presenter.
Okay.
So that kind of gives you that kind of outlet where you get to entertain people, and it's really cool. I'm actually really liking it.
Okay, cool. So so that's kind of like the direction you want to move into with your personal life, is trying to be some kind of entertainer or work within that kind of genre.
Yeah, like working in a genre where you can like just you know that's like somewhere you just brought someone like 15 minutes of enjoyment. You've just kind of made someone's day a little bit better, and just that kind of feeling like it's really good. And being able to combine that with games just sent it like just this is something I have to do.
Yeah, because you're passionate about games and playing games and stuff, and that's kind of the level where you want to meet people at.
Yeah, like being able to like just because you're entertaining so much, also it's entertaining someone that has something in common with you. Like everyone I'm talking to right now is a gamer,
right?
So you've always got that common ground, and you always make jokes about like glitches and all that kind of stuff.
Cool. What were some of the commentators you enjoyed watching the most?
Well, everyone watches like Cnatters and Hutch, and one of my favourites of all time was Wings of Redemption, even though he gets a lot of hate. He's a really funny guy to watch, and he's always he's brilliant. I did some videos about him and did like a challenge for him.
Sure.
And then I did I don't know if you know Woody's Gamer Tag. He's pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
Like some of them are really good, and I think I'm forgetting some that I always watch. There's really good ones out there, and there's lots of them out there, which is really good. So it's never you're always spoiled for choice with commentators. So I'd say my favourite one is probably Wings of Redemption, just because I've watched him for so long and I've watched him kind of grow as a person.
Right.
That's always fun.
Like, what kind of things about Wings did you like the most? Is it you kind of mentioned he's funny, but what kind of things did you like about him?
I like the way he's really direct. He's like himself, where he says everything as it is. He doesn't kind of beat around the bush. He says, and he can be really crude sometimes. He's a guy without a filter. He just says things without thinking about saying them. He can say something, and then even if it's wrong, he'll defend it. He doesn't care if it's wrong. He said it, so it's instantly right. And I find that just like a really funny thing about him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like watching Wings too. He's right. You're right. He's got a very unique perspective on things, and he sticks to it. No matter what, he's got a pretty good channel there.
Yeah, and he's got the way he defends himself against hate is brilliant, because I've never seen anyone get so much hate thrown onto them for such little reasons. And I like the way he's kind of built up like a brick wall where just the hate kind of just bounces off and he doesn't like take any of it. And that's really cool.
Yeah. What kind of goals do you have for your channel?
I don't really have goals. Like I see a lot of channels where the goals is get like 500,000 subscribers, like 500,000, like all that kind of stuff. Like they have subscribers and viewers as their goals. My goal is really just to make people laugh and enjoy themselves. That's all really I'm looking to do.
That's cool. No, that's good. It's better to have that kind of goal than like the subscriber goal. I think the way I see it is, if you make good content, then the good stuff's gonna rise to the top, and then you just gotta find your audience.
Yeah, because I was saying, I think I did a video on this where I was talking about like the current state of things right now, where it's more quantity over quality right now. I want to bring it back to where it's quality, where every video is like no one really cares about how much views they're getting. They just care about how good the video is.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about like being Irish and being on YouTube, because it seems like there's a large amount of you guys on YouTube. Do you have any idea what that's about?
I think it's just the culture you're in. It's everyone here is kind of like everyone here is the funny man. Everyone here likes to be the entertainer.
Okay.
And there's a large kind of population of Irish people on YouTube, and it's really funny. Like I made it a large part of mine where like I have all like the green and the clovers and the like music and everything,
Right.
and like my name and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's just the culture is like really really funny, and people like the voices, people like the accents, and
Yeah, definitely.
so unique.
Definitely. I know it's a big hit over here, is seeing all the Irish guys. I'm trying to think. Is Syndicate Irish?
No, I think he's English. He's
English.
He's
Okay.
English.
So he's English, and I've been watching the Yogscast a lot. I think they're English too.
They're
right?
English. There's a guy called like. You ever watch How to Annoy People? The guy he's Irish.
No, I haven't. I'll have to look him up.
Oh, his name's Kevin.
Kevin?
He's pretty funny.
Okay.
He's pretty big. There's people called the Sideshow. There's lots of Irish people on YouTube, even like outside the gaming realm.
Right.
And it's actually the Americans kind of really really like them.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I probably it drew me to your channel. Is that I thought that accent is always killer over here. You know.
Yeah, people seem to really really like it. They find it like really funny to listen to because it's really fast paced, and I do get messages. People do ask me like what I'm saying sometimes. They don't even understand because the speed it comes out at.
Yeah, even just talking to you now, a couple times I've had to like slow my brain down and wait a minute, what did you say? No, but I've gotten everything you've said. You know what's funny too, and I've heard a lot from your videos too. Like, it's interesting that even though we're like 3,000 miles apart, it seems like you guys have a really good grasp of American culture. And could you explain that to me? Like, do you see it on TV? Do you see it online? Like, where do you pick up about, like, you know, American TV, American video games, stuff like that?
Well, it's kind of because everything kind of comes from America. Like all the TV shows you have here, all the games, they're all filled with like the American, like the way you speak. Like we're more Americanized than we are like English.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny how like the furthest away possible English speaking country is America, and we're actually closer to them culture wise than the one like right across from us.
Yeah.
But like you kind of get it from TV shows. A lot of comedians are from America. You've got a lot of like news, like CNN's Americans. They kind of pick it up from there.
Okay.
And people can't just pick it up because it's a lot easier to understand. Like you hear me say words like awesome and all that kind of stuff, which is more American than most people. And even me myself, I'm more Americanized than most Irish, and even though the whole country's more Americanized, it's really weird. But I think it's just because the TV shows and the news and the games and the music as well. It kind of just adds the American culture in.
So do like when you watch TV, for example, is it a lot of American stuff, or is it a lot of Irish stuff, or BBC stuff?
Well, there's not really that many Irish TV shows because they have to compete with English in America, which is they've got really high quality stuff. A majority is American. Like you have shows like The Simpsons, Family Guy, Scrubs.
Okay.
All that kind of stuff, which kind of just instills the thing into you.
All right.
But
oh, that's funny. I didn't realize like that's kind of what your TV's like.
That's basically it's all American shows, basically.
Yeah, it's funny because like I'll be listening to these things and like to hear them talking about. Like I was listening to Yogscast the other day and they were talking about Seinfeld. I'm like, how do you guys know what Seinfeld is?
Yeah, the funny thing is, I know more about like the American presidential thing. I know all about like Mitt Romney and like Rick Perry and all that more than I knew about the Irish one, because you got more coverage on the American presidential elections than the Irish presidential elections.
Oh wow,
it's really funny how they do it.
What you mentioned you like comedians? What kind of comedians do you like?
The comedians I like are kind of the real kind of downer ones, the ones that talk about like really depressing stuff, like George Carlin, and Louis C. Clark, I think that's his name. Like, the ones that they go against like kind of the social stuff, and they're really really funny because they make fun of all the norms.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of funny guys. And there's some English ones I like as well. One called Lee Evans, who's an absolute, he's just crazy.
Okay.
You should look him up. He's absolutely insane.
Lee Evans.
Yeah.
The name sounds familiar. I might have heard him. I'm a big fan of comedy too. Louis C.K. is hilarious, and I don't know if you've heard of Bill Burr. He's good.
No, I stick to George Carlin and Louis C.K. They'd be my go-to comedians. I watch a lot of their stuff on Netflix, which recently just got to Ireland.
Okay.
So that was a blessing.
And where does that like love of comedy come from for you?
I'm not even sure. I think it's just I kind of just grew up loving like to laugh, and so comedians I kind of like relating to comedians. And the thing I can do is when I was younger, I kind of like stealing jokes from comedians and then telling them to my friends,
Yeah.
and that kind of just builds up. Like I need to watch more comedians now to
Okay.
get more friends.
Yeah. What kind of like do you remember like what funny shows were really important to you when you were little?
Oh, like things like The Simpsons and things like Family Guy, the kind of things that kids really shouldn't be watching, like Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park. That was another brilliant one.
Uh-huh.
Scrubs, like it's all American shows really. Like
Yeah.
South Park was an absolute. That show was amazing. That was insane. And there's some I forget another one that is really funny. American Dad's another funny one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, them kind of shows they kind of just build. They kind of like fix your humor on like the kind of weird humor that them shows have.
What kind of things are you enjoying on Netflix?
Netflix, I kind of there's not right now. Netflix has just come out. The selection on Netflix is really bad at the moment. It's kind of all just documentaries and comedians.
Okay.
So I kind of just stick to that.
All right, Donal. Well, that kind of wraps up my questions for you. You know, this was awesome. It was good to get to know you. Good to share some things with you. It's funny to hear some of the stuff you got to say.
Well, yeah, it was actually pretty fun. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, and if you like, maybe we can try and do a follow up in a couple months or something like that. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really great.
And I'm subbed to your channel now, and I'll be keeping an eye on you. And just thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Well, no, but I really enjoyed it. This is kind of a fun little thing to do. Nice to experiment.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. But thanks again, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, thanks for having me, and see you later.
Later, man.
And that's the end of my first interview with Donal, the Irish guy you know. Check out his channel. Link is in the description. Be sure to stay tuned for more gamer interviews. Thanks for watching.